see this particular circuit. So this is the combinational circuit. There is a input A, there is a input B, and all red one, and there is a blue one. So you can see like what is happening, like for this particular net, so it has certain length. So some signal is going to travel from here. And for this particular net, it is going to exit from here. So if I will say like, okay, this is a black box. Inside here itself, there is a and there is a B. Now what this black box is doing, you don't know. Inside this, there can be a layer, metal 1, metal 2, metal 3, maybe it is a metal 3 layer, metal 3 in this, there is a wire. So that thing is there, but you don't know about this, that inside this there is a metal. You don't know anything about the white portion within the blue box. But if you want to understand like, okay, what functioning is happening, so you just need a delay information. Like, okay, what will be the delay? Okay, so delay is 1 nanosecond. So that means if I will pass a signal at A, it will take 1 nanosecond to reach at B. Now, what is the response in terms of like if I will give a rising edge, I will get a rising edge. If I will give a falling edge, I will get a falling edge. Now, you don't know whether it is a buffer or it is a net. It can be anything. But for the tool point of view, it doesn't matter whether it is a buffer, it is a net. So from the algorithm point of view, from the calculation point of view, I can directly say like, okay, there is a timing arc T1 and it is going to provide you this particular information. Done. Now this gate, inside this gate, what is happening, like this is the input, this is the output. I don't know like what is inside this particular buffer. Now whether this buffer is with respect to the pass transistor or with respect to the CMOS or with respect to the NMOS, even in the CMOS, the PMOS is as a part of a pull up or is it part of pull down? I don't know. Like who designed, who developed this buffer, that is the job of a standard cell library designer. So they designed this particular buffer. But inside this buffer, what are the layers and all those things, I don't know. I just ask the person like, oh, I need information from you, like, okay, what is the delay of this buffer? If I will apply a rising edge at the input of this buffer, how much time it will take to reach at the output of this particular buffer? So the moment they will provide you the delay information, at least you know all those things. The second thing is a response. You will say like, okay, the buffer, we know the response. But from the tool point of view, tool don't know anything about whether it is a buffer or it is an inverter. What tool know? Like, okay, this is a black box. There is a one input, one output. Now this can have a delay of 2 nanosecond. Now next thing is, if I will give a rising edge here, I will get a rising edge here. If I will give a falling edge here, I will get a falling edge here. That means now this is a buffer. Even tool don't need to understand that it is a buffer or not, but you can understand like, okay, it is a buffer. So for the tool, it is just a black box. That's all. Here it is a blue box. What is inside this, whether it is an inverter or the buffer, tool don't care. Tool just care like, okay, what is the response and after how much time I will get the response. And these two information tool will get from the property of the arc. So that's the importance of timing arc. And from the algorithm point of view, from the calculation point of view, from the software point of view. So from the software point of view, we are not going to talk about within the software, we are not going to talk about the buffer, AND gate, NAND gate, because in that particular case, we have to save a lot of information within the tool and we have to create a whole bunch of database. Like if it is written buffer, then you have to understand like what will be the response with respect to the rising edge, falling edge and all those things. So basically you have to write within the automation like the truth table of AND gate, NAND gate, buffer and all other things. So if there is a multiplexer, you have to write all those things. In place of that, you can provide certain information. We will discuss that thing. And the moment the tool will come to know like, okay, between the input and output, this is that particular property. Tool is happy. So tool is not going to store any truth table around these gates, and whatever is written in a particular file, it tool will read that content, and it will interpret like, okay, if I am giving a rising edge, then what type of data I will get at the output of this particular timing arc. There are a lot of timing arcs, so we are just we divided this thing, the net arc, cell arc. So the input and output of a cell, if I will create a arc here, so it becomes a cell arc, and here this is the input. So in an AND gate, you can see like this is a one input, this is another input, and this is a one output. So between input to output, there is a arc. Between this input to this output, there is a arc. So this is all about arc. If I will talk about what is a net arc, so in a net arc, there is a driver pin, there is a load pin, and in other word, you can see like there is a source and there is a sink, and it will have a certain delay information, and this delay information will be the part of a SPEF. So if I am saying the net arc, so as such, you will not see like what is a net arc. So net arc is nothing, it's just like the delay information of a net, and this is basically the part of the SPEF directly. So we are going to discuss the cell arc one by one with respect to the different logic gates.
Like our Facebook page, YouTube channel for more such updates. Thank you for watching. Be expert, buy expert. Best of luck.